What's going on, guys? Welcome to today's midday market recap. My name is Brad, and I run this channel that is called OT over the. Let me start that over. My name is Brad, and this is Own the Chaos, where we trade OTCs or over-the-counter stocks. And I got a special one for you today. Gosh, it's so awesome to see people see value within our group and find ones that just are monster runs. Now, this one that I'm going to be talking about today isn't one that I played myself, but it was somebody within my group that saw value within this particular stock, and it ran from 0007 to 009 at its peak today. So between last week and today, it has ran well over 1,000%. Over 1,100%, I think, and it just has really gone through the roof. So congrats to you, and it's going to be none other than our very own Sniper Trades, aka Kyle. So Kyle, congratulations on that. You know, we give you a hard time lots of times, but like it's all in good fun. We have a good family atmosphere, and if you're wondering what we're talking about, it's my community. It's absolutely free to join. It's WeTrade HQ. The link's in the description to take a look and see what we're all about. It's just a great community to be a part of, guys. We have 2,600 members worldwide. We're growing every day. It's been awesome to see the growth that we've had. And so let's go ahead and take a look at where VYST started. That's the one we're talking about today, and how it's ended up and where it may go from here. I touched on VYST on Friday because of the major run that was taking place then, and it has since then had a nice continuation into today and had highs of over 009. So let's take a look at that. Have this pulled up here. Again, this is WeTradeHQ.com. You can do technical analysis, communicate with your friends on whatever stocks that you see value in and what you're looking at. Maybe you guys can put your heads together and figure out if you both see the same type of volume. It's interesting here. So if I'm looking, if I'm here on WeTrade HQ, the type of indicators that I'm using primarily are going to be Bollinger Bands and RSI. That's what I like to use. I like to use like a double confirmation of oversold and overbought situations to make entries and exits. And so VYST obviously is sky high on the RSI and way above that upper band. Started to come back down a little bit. We'll see how this ends up. The reason why VYST ran, and I'll show you why. I pulled up the financials, and we touched on this on Friday, but you can see here that there is convertible debt. Okay, so just looking at if you have any kind of accounting experience or taken an accounting 101 class, you should pretty much know what a balance sheet is. But if you don't, that's okay. This is what it is. It basically shows the overall health of the company. You know, they take their assets, their liabilities, and stockholders' deficit, and it's all supposed to equal out. And so you can see that here. So total liabilities and stockholders deficit, 3,407,000. You go up here and it's the same. In between here is what matters, though. If you're looking at the debt that this company has, VYST, they have a significant amount of convertible debt. And if you don't know what convertible debt is, basically it's money that converts into shares that then go into the stock itself and become tradable on the market. So that float is are the shares that are going to be tradable on the market, and those convertible shares then go into that float. Why does that matter? Because it makes it much harder for the stock to move. If there isn't enough buying power to go on, it could eventually drive the price of the stock down. What happened with VYST, and if we look here on my scanner here, if you're curious as to what this is, it is equity feed is what I use primarily. And I use this to find unusual volume, momentum type stocks, and that sort of thing. But anyway, if I'm looking at this and I look at the level 2 here, you can see there are known dilutive market makers on here, but they're way off of the ask price. And so this is why VYST, I believe, is running. It's had an amazing start so far from its 0007 range. And it has had highs of 0094. So just an amazing run. These are ones that have significant increases, and it seems to me, as of lately, there always seems to be some sort of trend with a lot of these stocks. And we saw this with ADSV, IMNP, when the dilutive market makers start to pull off and let this breathe a little bit, it really starts to run. And so you'll see that, and that's what happened with VYST. One other one that I wanted to take note of that's happening today is going to be SPDL. We talked about this one a couple weeks ago, and it looked as if dilution was really starting to come to an end. Now, it doesn't mean that dilution is completely done and over with, but it means that it is easing up some, and it allows the stock to breathe and it allows it to move quite a bit. So if I'm looking at this here, at this chart, it's actually starting to heat up on that RSI, but it's starting to come down back down over that upper band. We'll see if this has a nice continuation. SPDL, I think, with the recent volume that's come in over the last week or so, should be an interesting run to see if this one continues to go. But we shouted this out well within the mid-teens within our mentorship group. If you're interested in that, links are also in the description as well. But if you go and look at their balance sheet, now every balance sheet might look a little bit different, but as you can see here, they do have convertible debt that will be converted into shares in the form of dilution. So another one to keep a watch off. If you are in it, you need to take care of yourself and look at level 2. Right now, level 2 doesn't look like VNDM and MAXM. Those are the known dilutive market makers. You can see how they're backed way off of the ask price, which means that it's allowing the stock to breathe a little bit. So people that actually come in and buy this thing will make it a lot easier to move because there's no dilution hanging on here. So that's why VYST has done what it's done. That is my opinion on that. There's no other explanation that I can come up with on VYST as to why it's running other than that. Obviously, it's tons of dollar volume coming in here. You can see $450,000 in dollar volume. Shoot, even if there was dilution going on, it probably would still end up moving. So congrats to you, Tom. Tommy Scully, up over 800%. If right now, if you're still in this, Tommy, what I would do is, again, I would just keep an eye on this level 2. Watch your price action. You know, if you're already up over 800%, if it was me, I would be taking my profits, or at least securing some of it, maybe leaving some in there to see where it might go. But boy, 800%, if you're already up that high, gosh, man, you got to take profits at some point, I would think. You know, I'm not going to tell you what to do. That's not my job. But, you know, that's just kind of, if it were me and I was in your situation, that's what I would do. And so just looking at this, it doesn't look like they're diluting yet. But all those people that bought down in the 0007 range are going to want to get out at some point. So I don't know if it's really going to go up any higher than that. Obviously, the indicators are screaming right now. You can look at VYST. RSI is super high. It's way above the Bollinger Bands. This is starting to look extremely overextended from a chart perspective. And so for me personally, if I was up that much, I would really kind of consider, yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. 0009, that's insane. What a play, man. Congrats to you. That's awesome. If you're not within our group, by all means, you know, check us out, Tommy, and we'd love to have you part of WeTrade HQ and be able to celebrate your success. So nice job on that. It's just been a monster run. So that's what I would that's how I would handle a VYST right now if I had gotten in, especially in that 000 range. Just I would be very cautious here, and at least at the very least, if you do nothing else, protect your initial investment, whatever you bought in on VYST with, at least protect that. And then, you know, whenever you're happy, you sell it. And, you know, just, I don't know, man. If it were me, like I said, I'd really kind of secure my profits at this point. But, you know, you got to do what you got to do. I'm not going to force anybody or tell anybody what to do with their position or how to make money. So if you see more value with this, then by all means, just keep letting it go. But at some point, you're going to want to protect that initial investment and let it go. So do I think it's going to run more? Here's my thoughts on it. On when people ask me stuff like that. HelloFlush, yes, it is. Check the links down in the description. There is a link for Discord. It's absolutely free to join. But let me get back to this, Tommy. So do I think it'll go up more? People ask me this question all the time on whatever they're in. It's not whether I think it's going to or it's not. The thing is with the OTC, it's so volatile that it's really anybody's guess as to whether or not it's going to go one way or the other. What you can do is that you can observe it on the charts, use your indicators, and determine your best educated decision as to whether or not you think it's going to run. Right now, everything on the chart's telling me that VYST has to come back at some point. It is way too hot right now. It's gone 1,000% in a week's time. So at some point, you're going to have to say, okay, when is the ball going to drop here? Because it's not going to just keep going like that. No stock keeps going like that, ever. And so historically, you got to say, okay, there's got to be some sort of pullback. How far is this going to pull back? And when is it going to pull back? And right now, it's actually starting to look like it's starting to do that. It had highs of 94. Right now, it looked like it was back in the sevens or so. So you really kind of have to gauge that. And so I'm not going to be able to tell you that yes, it is or no, it's not. But just based off of the chart, what I'm looking at right now and how hard it's ran since last week, there's got to be some point to where all those folks, such as yourself, that got into that 000 range, they're going to want to take profits at some point. So the idea is for you to take your profits before everybody else does. Otherwise, you're going to be left all the way back, riding it all the way back down. You really don't want to see that either. So, just do what you got to do. I can't tell you what you can do or what you can't do. You have to make that decision for yourself. But what I can do is just provide you with information and past experiences and what history has told us about stocks such as this. And then you can make your own decision based off of that. And that's the whole point of this channel. That's the whole point of the community that we have within WeTrade HQ. It's just to help people learn and grow and find each other, find success and celebrate everybody's success along the way as well. So if you are interested, if this is the first time that you're checking out my channel, I certainly would appreciate a subscribe if you enjoyed today's show. And if you liked it, give it a nice little thumbs up. Also, I'm starting something new. If you want to leave in the comments whatever stock you think might be running or may have a great day either today or tomorrow, I'll go ahead and look through those comments and give you a nice little shout out the very next day on my midday market recap, just to kind of show you some love. If you got it right, if you did the due diligence, if you looked at your chart and said, okay, I think this is going to run based off this, this, and that, and then it actually ends up doing it, I'll give you a nice little shout out the very next day, just to kind of show you some love and let everybody know that this is a community effort. This isn't just about me or any other one person or any individual, but it's always nice to just shout others out within the group to let everybody know that it's not all about one person winning, it's about everybody winning. So feel free to leave comments down below after this video is over and let me know what you think might be going off, and I'll give you a shout out if it actually ends up doing that. So that is all I've got for you guys today. As always, I will see you all before the bell, and be sure to be on the lookout for tomorrow's midday market recap. This is going to be a continuous daily thing. It was such a big hit last week. Everybody loved it, so we're going to continue it on from here on out. So see you all guys tomorrow. If you're in my morning mentorship, I will see you before the bell, and B Smith is out. Have a good one, guys.